Are you an owner-operator that blames everybody and anybody for all the problems that you're currently having? Or are you the type of owner-operator that takes full accountability and responsibility for everything that's going on with you? Did you come in at the wrong time to become an owner-operator, or did you come in at the right time? You know, the current state of the market is horrible right now. You might have came in last year. You might have came in 2 years ago at the best time, but now you're kind of suffering from all the problems that we are currently having on with the industry. Who are you putting the blame on? Whose fault is it? Is it your fault because you didn't do enough research when you decided to come in? Or is it the president's fault? The broker's fault? If you don't start taking responsibilities for your actions, you are never going to succeed in the trucking industry. As soon as you give a little bit of power that you have as an owner-operator away, they have power over you. So in turn, you are going to fail as an owner-operator. You have to start making smarter decisions. You have to start knowing what it takes to run a business. You can't just say, I'm going to buy a truck and let's get rolling. There is so much more to understand and know when it comes to being an owner-operator. Most people that get into the trucking industry that want to be owner-operators, they just know that they want to make more money, but they know absolutely anything about the trucking industry as a whole. They don't know anything about markets, about business, about taxes. They just want to become an overpaid truck driver. They want to make a little bit more money than being a company driver. And it is so easy to get into it, so easy to become an owner-operator. Literally all you have to do is fill out a few paperwork, buy a truck, get a business name, and that's it. But did you ever study anything that comes along with being a business owner? Probably not. None of us did. I did it. And that is the reason why I have failed multiple times as an owner-operator since I started 3 years ago. But let's get into it. Let's discuss. Let's talk about it. So I just got the best/worst call ever. My dispatcher calls me and he says, hey, I got this load coming out of Lithium, Georgia, which is Atlanta, Georgia area. It's going to Miami, Florida. It picks up tomorrow morning and delivers Tuesday morning, which tomorrow is Monday. Today is Sunday. Well, right now it's 6 p.m. But I have to be there tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So currently, I'm in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which is 700 miles to Atlanta, Georgia. And he says, it pays really good. It's worth it for you to deadhead to Georgia to pick it up and then deliver it in Florida Tuesday morning, it is a convention center. That's about the only thing that's paying anything right now. And one of the things I hate about coming to the Northeast coast is trying to find a good load coming out of this area. It's like, do you want it? Yes or no? You would have to start driving right now to make it on time. So right now it's 6, so I have to drive all night. I mean, basically, by the time I get there, it's gonna be pretty late. As an owner-operator, you know, I have the choice of taking it or not. And if I don't take it, you know, I'm running the risk of getting a crappy load for tomorrow. All right, sure, you know, I'll take it. So I'm about to start driving all night long. Probably a minimum of 10 hours to get there. Probably closer to 11 because it is 700 miles. So this is where I'm currently at, Carlisle, Pennsylvania. So I got to drive all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, which is 700 miles to be there tomorrow morning. And then from there, I'm going to drive to Miami, Florida, which when I get here, my pickup, I got to do my 10-hour break there. And then after that's done, I got to drive in the nighttime again to make it to Miami, Florida. I got a total of 1,371 miles. So yeah, let's get these wheels turning. Philosophy is a major determining factor of how your life works out. To form a philosophy, you have to think, you have to use your mind, you have to process ideas. It all starts from when we were little, from the time that we began to crawl, that we started to form our philosophy. But we were too little to understand, too little to comprehend the ideas that were being imprinted in us by our parents, by our family and friends, by our teachers, by the culture, by the government. I used to think that the reason I am where I'm at was because of my circumstances. If somebody would have asked me when I was 30 years old, why was I not doing well as an owner operator, that I was young, that I was healthy, making more money than ever before, getting to dictate how hard and how I run my routes, work by my own rules, that why was my bank account always so low? Why was I always asking to borrow money from family and friends? How is it possible to be living in America, land of the free, and abundance of opportunities, that my life was not going well for me? What is going on here? What was I doing wrong? It would have never occurred to me that it was because of my philosophy. I found it much easier to blame my circumstances. I used to blame the president, I used to blame the market, I used to blame the brokers, I used to blame my carrier, and I even blamed the diesel prices. I used to think like that. One day I had had enough and decided to throw all that out the window, but it seems like a few drivers have found my piece of paper that I had written in, where I blamed the weather, I blamed my dispatcher, I blamed the traffic, I blamed the cities that I was in, I blamed the shippers and receivers, I blamed everything and everybody. So if somebody would have asked me why I was failing as an owner operator, why I was constantly running out of money, why I was not succeeding in this great country, land of opportunities and tons of money to be made from, it would not have occurred to me to blame my philosophy. I blame my job. I blame the owner of the company I'm with. If I didn't know any better, I would have blamed my dog for eating my BOL. I used to say, if this is all the market is paying, how do you expect me to do well as an owner-operator? How do you expect me to feed my family during an economic crisis, to get ahead in life? I can't even see the road leading into next week. I thought all owner-operators were on the same boat as me, that everybody was struggling to make ends meet, that we were all deprived owner-operators taking these scraps that these brokers were offering, that everything cost too much and loads were paying too little. That was my explanation for doing so bad, not my philosophy. It wasn't until I started working on myself, nourishing my brain, feeding into new ideas, trying to solve problems as opposed to brushing them under the truck, that's when I realized where the problem lies. You want to know what's amazing about personal philosophy? That's what separates owner-operators from company drivers. It's what makes us different. We have the ability to use our mind, to think, to process ideas, and not just operate by orders and instructions. In the winter, company drivers have to go through any weather, through any road condition. And what if the roads are really bad? What if it's too windy? What if you have to throw some tire chains on and you have never done it before? What if the weather is disastrous and your dispatchers tell you have to keep driving? Well, tough luck. As company drivers, you have to oblige no matter what, or you can be blacklisted. And we all know what happens when companies put their drivers on the blacklist. Owner operators are not like company drivers that have someone on their shoulder telling them what to do, where to stop, how to think, where to fuel, and probably where you're allowed to take your 30-minute break. We can turn around and go north, south, west, or east. We do that by the way we think, by the way we exercise our mind, different thoughts spreading in our brain, new concepts like how to create a business, how to work for myself and become an owner-operator. How can we truckers come up with a better philosophy, a better strategy? How do we set goals for our future, create plans to thrive and achieve our goals? We can do that by developing our philosophy, by processing what we have available. Let me make it simple. We all start out with the seed in our hand that we have to go out and plant. Then we have to go out and deal with different types of soil. We also have to deal with the rain, sunshine, seasons, and the miracle of life springs out from the ground. Now, what do we do with all this information? How do we make what's available into equity, future, lifestyle, possibilities, values? It all starts with what? Your philosophy. With philosophy, we can turn things into value, nourishment, food, currency, business. Something spectacular that no other life form can do. There's no animals, no cows, no dogs, lot lizards that have the ability and capability to think and process ideas like we do. Of course, you can do it, and it starts with changing your philosophy. You have to think, use your mind, absorb information, and put it to use. Strengthen your philosophy. Your philosophy will determine what you will do with your seed that was given to you by God. The sunshine and the soil, the rain, changing seasons, all those are the economy, banks, brokers, and everything else that is available for you to be able to succeed in the trucking world. Process it and turn it into equity and value. That is one of the major challenges in this industry. So, what will you do with what's available and given to you? You need a better philosophy. You don't need a better economy. You don't need a better seed or soil. You don't need better brokers. You don't need $3 per mile loads. You don't need cheap fuel prices. Because when it comes to running a trucking company, that is all you have to work with. If you blame all that stuff, then you are blaming all you got to work with. If you blame the economy, if you blame the government and their policies, if you blame the shipper, if you blame the truck stops, pretty soon you're going to run out of things to put the blame on. But that's all there is. That is all you got. When you blame everything you got to work with, that is called crashing your truck into your dreams. You can't even change the seed or the soil. You can't change when it rains. You can't change the seasons. And when you try to change all that, that is when you start to crash into your dreams. So what can you change? Well, you can start with changing your philosophy. Begin with your trucking philosophy. That's what I had to do at the age of 30. I had to change my mind, the way I thought, the information I consumed, my philosophy. I made a huge mistake on what I thought was causing all my problems. I had to get a hold of the steering wheel again. I used to blame the politicians, the government, inflation, the market, my carrier. Once I got rid of all that and went after my actual problem, which was me, my life completely changed. My whole trucking career got on a new road immediately. The way I saw everything around me changed. This new highway I was on felt really good. Fresh new paved roads. It was like putting on brand new shocks on my truck. The results I got from changing a few things as an owner operator were so good that I have never looked at my rearview mirror again. Your whole life can change just by changing your philosophy. Making a few minor adjustments to your thinking will completely change you as a truck driver. You don't have to wait till tomorrow, till next month, next quarter, next season, or to the end of the year. You can start this process immediately. Some truck drivers do so little thinking that they don't know which way they're going. They think that they're going west, but in reality they're going east. You can imagine the road that they're on. Where are they going to end up by the end of the week, in a month, or in a year? They will be in the same spot that they are in today, working for somebody they hate that gives them as little as home time as possible. The pay is horrible, and spending the rest of their careers complaining on social media about their job. Today is a day to change, to grow as a truck driver, to become and think better than you did yesterday. And the road ahead of you will bring pride and joy to your life. Thank you so much for watching the entire video. It really means a lot to me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay healthy on the road. Drive safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.